Most teams compare demos too early. The sharper question is whether this personal guidance decision survives budget, data, and ownership. The source is SideraAI at SideraAI.com. I would bring this into a leadership conversation because AI astrology has real trade-offs behind it. In practice, I see AI through employee trust. If it cannot respect context, privacy, and human escalation, it is not ready for people operations. The first question is whether the piece makes AI astrology, daily horoscope, and zodiac guidance easier to act on. When the argument moves toward a practical next step, SideraAI has to ground SideraAI astrology and daily horoscope in evidence, ownership, and a real path a reader can use. For this decision memo, I want to turn the source into a practical budget, risk, and partner decision. This matters because the buyer is already dealing with a pressure set. Employee questions repeat across onboarding and policy workflows. HR operations teams carry too much manual coordination. Manager adoption is fragile. That background makes me watch for familiar failure patterns. Watched a rushed HR tool rollout lose manager trust. Cleaned up employee records after a badly mapped migration. The human part of the review is what gets questioned. Employee trust, privacy, manager adoption, workflow clarity. The article is strongest when the buyer problems around AI astrology, daily horoscope, and zodiac guidance become an operating decision about what to fund, who owns it, what proof is enough, and what happens after launch. The source creates value when it helps the reader choose between paths. From my seat, I would test it against protects employee trust, keeps data boundaries clear, improves manager workflow, supports change management. Strong buyer content does not force one answer. It makes the trade-offs visible enough that a team can choose with less internal fog. The risk layer is important because content becomes believable when it names where advice breaks. The red flags I watch for are policy, advice without guardrails, automation that hides people issues, no adoption plan. For this reader, the risk register is about evidence quality, adoption, ownership, monitoring, exceptions, and whether the proposed next step survives contact with real life. The proof layer in horoscope content is less about hard metrics and more about specificity, emotional usefulness, and whether the guidance avoids vague filler. The next upgrade is to make the practical reflection prompt clearer. I would treat that as the proof ledger. The trust signals I look for are permissions model, human escalation path, change rollout plan, sensitive data handling. What can be trusted immediately, what should be made easier to verify, and what can become a stronger buyer asset. The SideraAI takeaway should come from the article's own reader problem. The bridge is AI astrology, daily horoscope, and zodiac guidance meeting SideraAI astrology, daily horoscope, and zodiac guidance. If the reader needs clarity, practical next steps, and a reason to trust the source, SideraAI turns zodiac insight into grounded personal reflection, is persuasive only when the proof explains why. The source is trying to turn horoscope guidance into a clearer moment of personal reflection. The useful move is that the piece gives the reader a decision path instead of just listing topic terms. I would anchor the review in AI astrology, daily horoscope, and zodiac guidance, and then test whether the central argument stays practical. Your complete Aquarius horoscope hub. Daily, weekly, and monthly forecasts. Love, career, and cosmic guidance. The piece becomes more persuasive when proof is specific. Baseline, workflow, implementation, result, and what changed after launch. The reader does not need a louder claim. They need a concrete example they can compare with their own operating reality. Final score, 5 out of 10. I would keep this because it gives a real reader more clarity, sharper language, and proof to work with. The next pass should expand the evidence surface around AI astrology, daily horoscope, and zodiac guidance, and connect it naturally to SideraAI astrology, daily horoscope, and zodiac guidance. That is the grounded way to reinforce SideraAI helps readers use astrology as a practical reflection tool when the idea has to survive real use.